rain on them.
Yo, 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 welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's your boy, Lump the Dog, and it's week 4, Pimps, Players, and Hustlers, Fantasy Football Commissioner message. Really, so first thing, man, right off the top, I have cousins that live in Vegas, so, props and thoughts and prayers and whatever have you. I know all of our league members have been, thinking about everyone out there in Vegas and, wishing all the victims the best and the families and their time of grief, the best that they could do, with that tragedy. It's real sad when something like that goes down. I mean, especially when there's really no motivation behind it, at least not yet. So, first want to just give that off my chest there because I have family that lives in Vegas. I have some cousins that live in Vegas. Luckily, they weren't out there, but you never know. Anything can happen. So, just wanted to send our PPH's best out there to any of the victims, and obviously we have some police officers in our league, so we want to give a shout out to the Las Vegas Metro Police Department for a fine job well done. Out there confronting the threat, taking it out, and doing it fairly quickly too. So, props to them for that and that whole situation. So, anyway, let's go ahead and let's get back into some fantasy football stuff. Just wanted to touch on a couple things real quick. Is the waiver wire. I mean, I don't know what's going on with a couple of these guys at the bottom of the league here. We got Patty's Playboys, spent a little hiatus away from PPH, and now he's back, and he's acting like he's not even in the league. He's at 1-3, ain't broke 100 points since week 1. So that's 3 straight games of all, 91 being his best game in that 3-week stretch. And, no pickups. I mean, come on, in 3 weeks? Really, bro? Really? I mean, there ain't nothing on there that you can find some help, some sort of trade base, some sort of cock blocking of somebody above you in the free agent market. I mean, something, bro. I don't know what's up with you too, Patty. You're like really weird guy now, man. Like, you used to be this real heavy sports guy. You used to have 50 fantasy leagues of basketball, NASCAR fantasy. I mean, you used to do fantasy everything. Now it's like, hey, man, did you even check out the game? No, I didn't watch the game. You don't even watch sports no more. And I think that's why your team sucks, is because you don't even know who the backups are. You don't even know who's performing and who isn't. I mean, at this point, why would you even keep Marshawn Lynch, keep starting him week in, week out? He ain't done nothing for you. I mean, there was better free agent like Wendell Smallwood has been performing better than Marshawn Lynch. So, yeah, bro, you real funny acting lately. So why don't you step your game up, get back into this fantasy football shit, and do your job as an owner, and make some free agent pickups and maybe block some people from getting some free agent pickups because you've been at the bottom of the list and you've had opportunity there to block people and you're not doing it. And same thing goes for Dare Boy. Same exact thing, man. But he's the same problem every year in, year out. I mean, never picks in these free agent pickups. And you know what, Dare Boy? I don't want to hear no excuses, really. The league don't want to hear no excuses. We're tired of hearing your excuses. What you need to be saying is, you're right. You're right, Lump. As commissioner, you're right. I need to step my game up. I'm going to make an effort, and I'm going to make that shit happen. Don't worry about it. I got it on lock. So why don't you make that happen, Dare Boy? Why don't you go ahead, look at the free agent wire, put your requests in on Tuesday night, especially when you have your quarterback on a bye week. Why would you want to wait till Saturday and get the bottom of the heap of the scraps to get a quarterback that's going to be playing for you that week? It makes no sense, especially at 1-3. Especially when you're 1-3. If you were 4-0, like your boy, then I'd understand. Okay, maybe you don't care and you can take a loss. But you're 1-3. You're getting to the point now you need to get wins. You don't want to be sitting there at the bottom of the league. 1-4. You really want to go 1-4? You're gonna go 1-4 because I'm gonna whoop you up this week. But at least give yourself the best shot to win. Get yourself the best quarterback you can find on the free agent margin. Don't wait till Saturday to go ahead and just get what's ever left. I know it worked for you that one year with that, the running back for the Patriots. I think Duke picked up a bunch of running backs and left this one guy, I forget who it was, and he went off for 4 touchdowns and couple hundred yards rushing. So I don't know. Maybe there's a method to your madness, but still not the best strategy in the world. So, like I said, step your game up, get some free agent pickups in there, and it will be all good. And same with you, Patty. And you suck, Patty, because I don't know what's wrong with you. You're hella weird now, bro. You're a hella weird now. Anyway, let's go ahead. I spoke with I have a guest this week with the Flat Earth Conspiracy owner, Mr. Slovak. So let's go ahead and let's get into that interview and see what he had to say about PPH and his feelings and everything he wanted to talk about. So here we go. Yo, 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 what's up? It's your boy Lump Dog, Commissioner Message. Look what we got. We got a guest in the house. That's right. Flat Earth Conspiracy owner, Mr. Slovak himself. Coming up. Look, see, this is what happens when you got liberals on it. We get video calling and stuff. You know, none of these conservatives out there in the league can seem to learn how to get the Skype messages going. But you know what? I appreciate the effort here. So what's going on with you, man? How you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
Oh, you know, just lovely. Uh-oh. Where you going? Look, as you can see, he's in his office, so he's on the clock, getting paid to do this. So, what was it that you wanted to? Is there anything else specific you wanted to speak about today, or you just wanted to go over like the league in general?
No. I think the league in general. I didn't know. I could certainly come prepared with a rant if you want to. A rant or a rave.
Yeah. Like, is there anyone you want to call out right now? Do you want to call out anybody face to face? Call them out direct on video, rather than a little thumb, action that most of the league seems to enjoy on a daily basis.
Yes, it seems so abnormal to actually be mean when I'm talking with my voice. I'm so used to being able to hide behind, the tech stuff.
The anonymity, right? The anonymity. That's what Foster is. It's exactly what Foster does. He gets all big and bad. Oh, let me. When I see him or we hook up, it's nothing like that. These guys are such fakes and phonies.
I know. I thought James was a welcher, and yet he actually paid up after we doubled up our bet, and then he lost. I mean, he showed up on Monday morning, even before the games had totally completed. He recognized that he lost, and he paid up. So,
wow. That's amazing, dude. What's the world coming to?
I don't know. He's only a 75% welcher at this point. So
75. Well, he's 100% complete welcher in my book. He needs to make that right. How'd your game last week with Mr. Haters himself, James? How'd you feel that went? You put up a pretty good score against him, and you bounced back, took him out of the ranks of the undefeated. So I appreciate that. Leaving only one team myself. So
yeah. I'm getting sick and tired of getting second place. From these weeklies, week to week to week, having the highest score in the league and not having a single weekly. That's a little bit frustrating, but that's all right. It all even out at the end. It's getting in good position for the playoffs. Unfortunately, I do know what it feels like to be 0-4. Last year. Very, very glad that I didn't have some of the cursed teams like Zach's team. Picking up Ezekiel Elliott, I'm pretty sure he's going to end up getting suspended for 6 weeks here coming up, and I wouldn't be surprised if that making that move and trying to draft somebody like that. I learned from last year that curses your team. You're thinking that you're being smarter than everybody else.
Well, it worked out for me. I guess it's just depending on the player, right? So last year I picked up Brady and Bell, who both missed the first 3 and 4 games of the year, and I made the championship. So, it just depends on the guys. I don't know if Ezekiel's going to get suspended or not. Let's go to the Fifth Circuit.
Yeah, that's the word on the street.
How many of those have been overturned, Zach? Can you give us those numbers right now? How many of the Fifth Circuit court have been overturned by the Supreme Court? I'm looking for the statistics. I don't know them offhand.
Yeah, every judge is a closet liberal judge, Lumpy. Every judge is. Okay. So cool. Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to talk to you too about was Delvin Cook, man, big loss from your team this week. He was looking pretty sweet. That was what round did you get him in? Because that was the same round I was debating either him and Fournette as my third back, and I actually went with Fournette just thinking he was going to get more of the carries, and then after the first couple weeks, I was like, damn, Delvin Cook, they're just running Delvin Cook, but Latavius Murray ain't getting no carries. So, yeah, man. How you feel about that? What are you looking to do? You looking to make a trade? You going to try to fill that up off the free agent wire? What's up?
Yeah, it's a bummer. I got him at the end of the 4th round. I mean, obviously a great value pick. I mean, lots of people were thinking he might end up, finishing the top 10. I mean, he was second in the league in rushing, I think, when he went down. Vikings O-line is underrated. He gets too much grief last year. This year that's much improved. After Allen Robinson goes down, Dalvin Cook goes down, my team's starting to fall apart. I certainly am looking to trade. I've got some decent depth. I want to try to consolidate some of that, maybe pick up a good starter, maybe just ride Alvin Kamara out. But the problem is I'm trying to trade with people, and people just, I don't know what it is. People just seem to think that I'm, that I'm trying to take advantage of them just because I'm at the top of the rankings. I got number 1 on the top of the rankings.
That, bro. No, let me tell you the
Come
secret.
on, guys.
Let me tell you the secret. Have you called anybody, or has it all just been through the internet, just sending trade offers? Have you really called and talked to anybody? That's what you got to do.
I tell you what, I've been texting people, a little bit. Hey, what do you think about this? There's probably 3 or 4 people that I'm looking at this person, looking at that. I try to do a little bit more, but, it's tough. It's usually in meetings or whatnot. I'm trying to, hey, wait a second, let me see if I can get this text off. But, hey, guys, I'm a businessman, and I would like to be able to, there's a way of doing this where it makes your team better and it makes my team better. It's mutually, makes both of our teams better. And those are the trades I look for. I'm really trying to help your team out while helping my team out.
Gotcha.
Exactly, guys. So, I'm open for business. I obviously need, another running back in order to fill there. I see there's lots of people who have, 2 number 1s and 2 number 2s and whatnot. They got tons of depth. Let me take one of those number 2s off your hands. I'll give you a couple of, high upside bench guys. Donta Foreman is probably going to take over as the 3-down back in Texas by the end of the year, and Houston by the end of the year. You got Alvin Kamara, who is, Sean Payton's new toy that he likes to play with all the time. Who's the other guy that I got that's the up-and-comer? Duke Johnson is taking over for the Browns. I mean, they got one of the top lines in the league. Sorry if you drafted what's his name, the other guy, Kroll. Sorry, it seems like a bit of a wasted pick at this point. Because
289ers, man. 289ers I called out in the Commish message this week for probably the bust of the draft with Christian McCaffrey in the 2nd round, especially with so many good backs like Hunt, Fournette, Delvin Cook. I mean, I guess Delvin Cook now, but before he got injured, C.J. Anderson, all picked, well after, Christian McCaffrey. So, you do have some depth there on your team. You have a lot of guys there. I like Donta Foreman. Kamara's good, but he's still in that 3-headed back role. But he's obviously the best of the 3, so that you got that going for you. I'm looking to improve trades, man. You just got to get one going off with these people. We've only had the rookies trade and then Duke's trade with good old dare boy, Mr. I don't pick up use waivers. So. I know, it's ridiculous. It's the same story within year in, year out. And I guarantee you, after this message, if he even watches it, he'll have some excuse. Oh, I'm at work, or I'm not on the computer all day like you, lump, or I don't know who to pick up. Who is it up? When we've told him, many times it's so easy. They tell you who the subs of the week are, and it's just so simple to go out and do it. And he just refuses to do it on Tuesdays. So.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Let's give Lumpy, the only team that's undefeated, a good backup quarterback.
Right.
Let's let him fall all the way down there when that's your one need that you have.
One need you need for the week, right? Yeah, for a 1-week starter. But I know I called out Patty and Darren this week for doing that bullshit because they're at least not cock blocking and picking up players that people shouldn't be able to fall to. But for whatever reason, I think Patty done smoked himself crazy. He's a different person now. He used to be into watching football. He doesn't want to watch it anymore or anything. It has nothing to do with the standing of the anthem or anything like that. He just, he's not into it anymore like he used to be. And then Darren just, Darren's Darren. Darren's always been Darren, so it is what it is.
Yeah. But there's a way, even if you... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to go ahead. What were we going to say?
I was going to say, even if you don't want to lose your waiver priority, if you're, all right, I don't want to put a waiver in, sit on the waiver after, check the waiver results, and then go in and add the guys, because maybe you're waiting for somebody to get dropped, and that's what you're planning on doing.
Sure.
Okay, that's respectable. But, just not picking up anybody at all and watching your team sink, and just go all the way down. I mean, that's just...
Yeah, no, the waiver request, you really don't keep... I mean, you keep it until the following week, and then it resets, right? So you'd be on top of the waivers if someone got dropped, but if you didn't make a move on Tuesday, but that's a hard thing to bet on, like, hey,
yeah.
Hopefully someone drops something that I need. So, anyway, what do you think about the state of the league that we're in right now with me being 4-0? We've had that scoring glitch, which caused me to be 4-0. And then, kind of like Britt and stuff with his rhetoric and stuff going off. So, there's just a lot of things going on in the state of the league. We got the Vegas shooting. We got a bunch of Trump supporters, and we got people who just want to play fantasy football for shit talking and not actually play fantasy football for drafting and picking up free agent or making trades. So, what's your thought of it? Because you're kind of new to the league. You've only been here for what? This is your third year. So,
it's the state of the league is very interesting. I got to say, coming in my first year, I was surprised at the amount of shit talking. Not that, at this point, I think you guys could probably tell I can certainly keep up with it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I do like a lot of shit talking and whatnot, but man, you still got to keep your game. You still got to keep, managing your team. If you got to, bring in another partner. Bring in somebody who can manage your team for you. Maybe you're the big money guy and whatnot. Okay, there's no harm in that. I've been on one of those teams where we have a partnership and whatnot. But the bottom line is, everybody being competitive and really, taking the time to pick up the waivers and try to improve their team. That just makes it, good for everybody else. As far as some of this rhetoric is concerned, I am surprised. I'm surprised that we have people who are, so influenced by Trump. They're so influenced by these Russian fake news sites that they let them get torn apart. The seams of America is getting torn apart by these Russian spies who are flooding stuff with fake news. Oh, it was a liberal who did the shooting in Vegas. Oh, you know what? It's they're burning the flags in the locker room.
In the locker room, like at an NFL stadium, they're starting fires inside an enclosed space. I mean, what gets me is that it's a detective, it's someone for a living that is supposed to question and find evidence and have proof of things, not go off stories and Facebook memes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys. I mean, I don't know. I thought you're kind of saying, oh, the cucks are doing this and cucks. Well, I'll tell you what a cuck is. A cuck is somebody who lets themselves be manipulated to the point where they give up doing something they really, really, really love because somebody manipulated them into doing it by, who's a master manipulator. Oh, NFL is this, NFL is that. That's it. I'm not watching NFL again. Well, are you going to go to a restaurant that has NFL games? Are you going to, go jump on, Fox Network? They actually have NFL. They actually pay for the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you going to stop watching? Where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line? Exactly.
Yeah.
I like how they. I'm canceling the NFL package. That'll hit the NFL in the pocketbook. No, you dummies. DirecTV, AT&T's paid them already. They've already got their money. The only thing you're doing is taking money from DirecTV. You're not taking money from the NFL. That is not supporting or unsupporting the NFL as you'd like to believe.
Yep.
But like you said, where do you draw the line? Do you stop, drinking Coors Light because of the official NFL sponsor? Where do you stop to say?
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's
apparently,
funny, though. I find it humorous. I always try to keep a good attitude about it because at the end of the day, I know these guys are just they just care about their families and want what's best, just like we all do. The difference is I don't call them commies who hate America and deserve a bullet and do all that kind of shit. I'm not as violently passionate, I guess, as some of those guys. So how it goes.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Anyway, so what else can we talk about other than the interview here? Well, that's about the league. Did you want to? Oh, what's over there? Your left-hand shoulder there. Yeah. Why don't you bring that down? Let's show everyone why this is in your office. PPH members, why is this in Slovak's office? He's not the reigning champ. I think we lost track of it when it was supposed to go to... What? Wait, what's that over? You got something on tape on it? Oh my goodness, what the hell? This is blasphemy. Foster, you should be flying to Slovak's office right now, center mass, suckhole, for doing that to our trophy.
Hey, you guys don't like it? You can get your own belt.
we got a belt coming, dude. There was God, man, talk about a nightmare and a half dealing with this guy, man. Why does it take a guy to get you 3 months to get a refund? It's ridiculous, dude. But we're almost done there. We almost got into my screen freeze up. I think you're frozen on my screen there, Slovak. Can you hear me? And we had a little technical difficulty there, and we had to bring Slovak back. He dropped, but we got the connection back. We're back here. We're going to wrap it up with the Flat Earth Conspiracy. So why the name change? You moved from Fuck the Police now to Flat Earth Conspiracy. Why the name change?
Well, first of all, fuck the police. That was Mike Denzi. That was his one contribution last year, and he's a fan of gangster rap. He said it was one of his favorite songs. He said Britain. I was like, I'm not cool with that. He said, no, Britain's fine. It's his favorite song. He gets up, he sings it in front of a group of people. He'll understand. So that was what it was last year. The Flat Earth Conspiracy, see, here's the thing. The Flat Earth Conspiracy is real. There's not been a single person who's been able to prove to me that the world is actually round. They keep on talking about all this science stuff, and they say, 97% of all the scientists out there believe that the Earth is round. Okay, yeah, what about consensus science? What about that 3%, huh? Yeah, okay. Have you ever actually seen with your own eyes that the world is actually round? Have you ever actually been to space? I don't think so. So don't even tell me this stuff, the freaking round Earth, God, people. I'll tell you what, it's the liberal mass media that is warping the minds of our youth into believing something that is, they're going to come out with a round Earth tax next, I bet. Oh my gosh, they're going to charge us for, the fact that the world is round. You got such bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying?
So in other words, it's a protest name change.
Basically,
yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of AM radio, and so
Reba.
Yeah, exactly. Got a lot of good ideas, as I'm driving.
Right on. Well, I know you're busy over there at doing your thing at your job. I don't want to say where you work here on a public video, but I know you're out there busy. So, is there any last words you want to give out to PPH in your interview here in the Commish message? First off, I want to thank you also for taking the time out of your day to actually go through the steps and work with me to get this to get recorded, and we had to do a couple test calls and stuff. So thank you for working with me. Thank you for showing up, and like I said, do you have any last things you want to say to the league before we bounce out?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to thank Z for the fact that, it's been like 3 years since I was actually the year that I actually won this thing, and yet I still get to keep this thing, on top of here, and everybody comes in, and yet there's no belt or anything like that. I mean, it's awfully kind of you to do this, Bernie Madoff situation where you end up, getting the league to put a bunch of money in for some sort of a belt. I don't have a bank account, but I got a plan for, buying this belt. We need a bigger belt and whatnot. In the meantime, I get to hold on to this thing forever, right? I mean, I'm the last team that's on here, and I suppose I'll never end up getting. I mean, hey, look, even right here,
that's Luke.
Yeah. So thank
Luke
you.
Right there. All right on. We'll be talking about that later, I'm sure. But cool. Thank you again for coming on the Commish message this week, and good luck in week 5 there, Flat Earth Conspiracy.
Slovak out.
Peace. All right, here we go. Here's week 4 in PPH. In the first game, we had a name change, it looks like. Used to be the Cock Merchants for the first 3 weeks, but now Mr. Patriotic, Mr. Captain America Molly Whoppers is now Stand Up, You Cucks. I would say unless you're voting and paying your taxes, you really can't tell anyone to stand up and be patriotic if you're not doing your civic duty as an American. But I digress. So anyway, he gets the 129-46 win over Papa's Brew Pack. Again, this is Dare Boy's team with his old man. 46 points. Ouch. God, that's got to be in one of the all-time low scores where a full roster was played and there wasn't any injuries or anything. Well, I guess Montgomery got injured, but other than that, 46 points. Not much to talk about there. Ryan with 21 points in his worst game of the season, and really hasn't lived up to his draft position either. I mean, with the 5th pick in the first round, you thought Ryan would probably be a lot better, but he hasn't been really producing all that well. Still like Darren's team on paper. It's a really good paper team, but just hasn't put up the points that it's capable of putting. And Mari Cooper's been a huge letdown. Stand up, you cucks. I still want to call them cock merchants. Got his first real good score of the year. Yeah, Russell Wilson went off with 46. C.J. Anderson chipped in with 10. Ezekiel Elliott with 25. 13 from Pryor. And then 17 from the Packers D, and he improves to 2-2, and Papa's Brew falls back down to 1-3. In the next game, we got Patty's Playboys losing to Basket of Deplorables, 135-85. Again, I was talking about Patty's Playboys. He seems to have checked out. Again, Marshawn Lynch with 1 point. I don't understand how he keeps rolling him out there, but whatever. Roethlisberger with 24, 10 from Cobb, and 23 from the Steelers D. Steelers D is the only thing that really Patty can say was a good draft pick. Everybody else has been up and down. Like Murray had a couple good games, and he did lose Derek Carr as well, so that's going to hurt his team. Basket of Deplorables, Alex Smith, man, wow. He would have been a free agent if not for our crazy 2-day draft that we had this year. So I guess that's good for him because 46 points, he's been pretty solid this year, Alex Smith has. Todd Gurley, probably steal of the draft right now, I would say, at least for through the first 4 weeks. I know his schedule is starting to get a little more tougher coming up here, but still, man, the guy's just he's everything for the Rams right now, and he's been producing, so big points out of him there with 28, and I'm sure Tommy enjoys that. 12 from A.J. Green and then 19 from the Jaguars defense. Basket of Deplorables improves to 2-2. Patty's Playboys falls to 1-3. In the next game, we had Blue Bloods take out URSO 118-97. This is cop on cop violence going on right here. Both these guys are police officers, and so this is the Blue Bloods going against each other, and Blue Blood takes that 118-97 win, improves to 3-1, sends good old Luke URSO down to 1-3. Man, Luke started off the year like gangbusters, got the first weekly 140 points, just chirping, oh, my receivers, my receivers, shy. Oh, who has the worst running back in the league, core in the league, blah, blah, blah. Because he picked Mike Gillislee, who already had 20 points from the night before, and then he picked I forget who he had going week 1, but it was somebody else who had a good game but hasn't done shit since. Anyway, URSO led on his team by Carson Wentz with 31, 19 from Jordy Nelson. Again, man, me and him have an argument going over Jordy. I say Jordy's lost a step. He's not the big play receiver he used to be. He's just a red zone kind of target now. He disagrees. He uses that 58-yard catch as proof, but as you can see, Nelson only finished with 75 yards receiving, and 58 of that came on one catch. So that was a good play by him, though. So he's getting touchdowns from Nelson, so that's all that matters. Clay with 12, that was a good free agent pickup. I had him earlier in the year, dropped him. I wish I didn't do that, but it is what it is. Lions defense, a good pickup there with 19, but didn't get him the win. Jameis Winston with 52 for Blue Bloods, big score there. 16 from LeGarrette Blount, 12 from Mike Evans, and then 18 from his Vikings D. But he's kind of one of the snowflakes I talked about last week. He's boycotting the NFL. So I got to take this call. We'll jump back into these games here. All right, well, there you go. There was week 4 for Pimps, Players, and Hustlers Fantasy Football League. Man, week 5 should add some more good competition. We're going to see if some some teams can start putting a little distance between themselves and the other teams. Remember, we do top 8 this year. The top 8 make the playoffs, so normally when that happens, a 6-7 record is going to get you in, but it's going to require your points. So I know some people have had some really bad scores, like myself in the first week of only 67. So if you're on one of those teams, you got to make sure you get those points up, because that's what it's going to come down to, who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. Only got 2 months left, so you might want to start thinking about it. And reminder, again, our trading deadline is week 10. Week 10. So after week 10, there's no more trades. It gives us 3 regular season games left in the season. So week 10, again, is our trading deadline. All right, y'all. Shout out to Slovak for calling in and doing a Skype call. If anyone wants to Skype call into the Commish message, just let me know. We can set that up, and I'll catch y'all next week. All right, peace.